My name is Guy Bartlett. I'm a British entrepreneur, born in Hertfordshire and brought up in the Northwest. And after a traditional career as an employee, I grew a tiny business from nothing to over 1.5 million in sales over 6 hard years, learning in the process what it takes to grow a business from scratch. Now in 2004, I fractured my spine, which gave me the time during recovery to reflect on life in general. And as a result, I decided to explore how to develop a business purely through acquisition. The accident was a bit of a freak occurrence, so it was an interesting time for me to be able to reflect on everything. Now, as a result of that reflection, and over the following 8 years or so, I acquired 7 businesses generating just under £10 million of revenue right here in the UK. I also started a business in 2008 that today turns over several £1 million. So if you're a business owner or entrepreneur, then I promise you're going to be really interested in what I'm going to share with you over the next few minutes. Now, if you've watched the news or picked up a paper in recent weeks, you can't have failed to notice that since the election, the media has started to turn very positive about the state of the UK economy. There's no more scaremongering about recession, credit crunches or double dips. The talk now is of economic growth, rising house prices, increased spending and falling unemployment. The reality is that there are green shoots and opportunities all over the place, and this is great news for small businesses. So I'll cut straight to the chase. I believe that the next 18 months ought to be the biggest period of growth for over 20 years for pretty much every small business in the UK. Providing, of course, you're ambitious and really serious about embracing growth and really want to make it happen. Now, to be clear, this message isn't for people who are just starting out where every pound can be a struggle. Nor is my message some kind of get-rich-quick scheme. But it is about the huge opportunities out there for businesses who decide to tackle their business growth strategy in a different way, and that's where I'm going to help. You see, over the last few years, as well as building my own successful business, I've also been working to develop the Business Buyers Club, largely at the urging of friends and colleagues who encourage me that my experience and message should be shared with other entrepreneurs. And I've realised that a major part of my life that I enjoy hugely has always been teaching, coaching, passing on knowledge, skills and experience that I've gathered over the last 3 decades of life in general and in business. And much of that has been done the hard way. I've made plenty of mistakes along the way. What I've also learned is a really enlightening figure issued by the Office for National Statistics. It amazed me to find that only 16% of all UK businesses have a turnover greater than £500,000. So that means that for 84% of business owners in the UK are largely just getting by. Because if the average net margin for a business is 10%, and actually it is from my experience, after wages and taxes, you may only be generating an extra £50,000 in retained profits, which you can take as a dividend, which is also taxed, or have something to reinvest back into the business. That's a pretty sobering thought. And worse still, if your sales revenue is less than £500,000. And it may well have taken you a good few years to get there. It did for me when I first started tackling that business, back in the day when we got to 1.5 million. So what if I told you there was a way to change that scenario and allow you to map a route to change your financial and business life? Without suggesting that what I have to share is some kind of golden pill or in any way a get-rich-quick scheme, I can assure you that growing your business through acquisition is exciting and rewarding both financially and personally. Now, none of us on the day we started our business had as our goal to just get by or struggle. We had bigger dreams, loftier goals. Whether it was about the money or wealth or lifestyle or about flexibility to work around our family or creating a better life for our children. Maybe it was a sense of purpose or doing something worthy. Whatever your goal was on day one, when you started, the reality is that for most business owners in the UK, somewhere between that day and this, they've compromised on their goals. I know because I have, and maybe you're one of them. Times have been hard over the last few years, I know. I started a business at the beginning of the worst recession in decades, stroke of genius. But I promise you, things are changing, and now's the time to reset your goals and re-establish your dream that caused you to set up in business in the first place. because the next 18 months will be a watershed period for small business owners in our country who are brave enough to shrug off the doubts and properly embrace growth once more. And I know what you need to be doing to move your business rapidly into the 16%, and I want to share it with you. I want to give you and a few carefully selected business owners like you access to the most cutting-edge, sought-after blueprints for how to acquire businesses, and crucially, using none of your own cash. To turn what you have now into a business that is considerably larger and much more profitable by this time next year. I want to work with you and help you to grow markedly over those next 12 to 18 months. Now, I know that there are plenty who won't or don't believe that there are things that you can do, often for very little money, that will make a big, big difference to your business. Their minds are closed. And for them, of course, the next year will be much like the last year. They'll remain languishing in the 60 or the 20% that continue to just get by and struggle. And if that's you, and that's what you're happy with, then I guess that's okay too. And if your mind's closed, I can't help you. But if you do want something different for your business next year, and if you want to grow markedly in 2015 and 2016, then my team and I are going to throw open the curtains and share with you exactly how to make that happen. And all of this is based on my own experiences and learnings acquiring 7 businesses and just under £10 million of revenue in the last 8 years. And all of that with none of my own cash. So here's how we're going to do it. I know that nothing beats live events. It's the best way to learn, so that's how my team and I are going to deliver this content. And I know you're busy too. So what we're going to give you is seriously concentrated and real knowledge. You have 2 choices designed to suit you, your time availability and your budget. You can choose to book onto our Business Buyers Club Basics course. This is a full day teaching you everything you need to know to go off and start acquiring businesses. And my promise is that if by midday you don't feel you are getting real value, we'll refund your fee guaranteed. During the day, you will learn the formula to work out your own financial freedom from acquisitions, how to figure out your why for acquiring businesses with goal-setting techniques that I think will amaze you with what you might be capable of achieving, how picking the right kind of target businesses will transform your chances of success, what are the 3 key fears that vendors have and how to overcome them easily, and how to use leverage to acquire a business using no money of your own. And lastly, the simple trick that will save you tens of thousands of pounds in deal fees with legal and accounting advisors. Plus, you'll also get copies of our financial analysis tools to evaluate businesses and work out how to acquire them, and you'll get legal documents too that I've spent literally thousands of pounds developing. Now, these things alone are worth 10 times the cost of the course. The course is only £1,150 plus VAT, but for a limited time only, we're able to charge just £497 plus VAT. But you must book before the end of July to qualify at this amazing price, and spaces are limited. Now just stop and think for a second. Just £497 to learn how to acquire a business that might generate tens of thousands of pounds for you. Now I promise you that this day alone will be transformational for the right business owners. For many people that come along, the information that you'll learn will be worth, as I said, tens, even hundreds or millions of pounds to you over the next few years if you follow the processes that we teach. And if you really want to kick on from your one-day basics experience, you can choose our second option of our 3-day residential course. And this is where we give you total immersion in acquisitions. By the end of this course, not only will you have role-played how to negotiate and complete deals, but we will have helped you to find and start your first deal live. What's more, we'll roll your basics course fee into the normal 3-day fee. But this course is only by invitation. So I figured I've done all I can to make accessing the knowledge so that this is a no-brainer for you. Listen, the next 18 months really could be a defining period for you and your business. The time when things really do change for the better. What's certain is that consumers and businesses are starting to spend again, and how much of that money that you attract into your business is down to you. If you keep doing the same things, then you know that you'll get the same results. But during these courses, you'll uncover the how that will make the difference for you next year. It really will be time well spent, I promise. You'll get the tools to dramatically improve your profitability, and I hope sincerely that we see you there. Don't delay, click the button below and let me and my team help you to get your business to where you want it to be.